We don't got time to play no games in this grown woman era. We are not stressing about things that we cannot control. The only thing that we can control is the choices that we make, what we choose to allow into our lives. How am I going to spend my time in a healthy and loving way to myself every single day? What's good, my loves? Welcome back to another video. I have entered my grown woman era, maturing in the most loving and respectful ways to myself. So I wanted to share some of the foundations that I'm laying to not play about me no more. So let's get right into it. The 3 foundations that I feel like lay this deep layer of self-respect is going to be accountability, integrity, and emotional intelligence. Embodying these 3 things and knowing the importance of it and implementing it in your life, I feel like it's going to make you build this unshakable self-perception. So the first thing, accountability. This is where your personal power lies. This is where you give yourself the power to have control over your life. The choices that you make is very important. And I know some unfortunate things be happening, and that's not our fault. But that power and accountability is saying, how did my inner thoughts and how did the way that I feel about myself attract this energy into my life? Taking that type of accountability right there will put you in the driver's seat to make decisions that are a little bit more healthier for you. So you can make the decision to get out of that situation or to protect yourself in the future, right? Because if we have no awareness of how we might have impacted a situation, then the cycle will keep repeating. So that accountability can help you to build the protection for yourself in the future to be able to decipher if something is good for you or not. When we always put the blame outside of us, nothing changes. And we don't really want to be in that victim state, because that victim state feels like weakness. It feels like you don't have the power to change or do anything about the situation. And it's not a good space to be as an adult. Like, it makes you feel like a kid or like somebody else has to come and save you or do it for you. Being able to look in the mirror can sometimes be a hard thing, but I promise you it's nothing to feel so shameful about for yourself at all. Like, we all humans and been through things and we learn, and like that shame for me is really starting to dissipate, because you're not any type of mistake. You are what you choose to do with that lesson. If you choose to lay down and just, I ain't shit, then you ain't gonna be shit. But if you watching this channel, then I'm sure you are a fighter, you are strong, and you are gonna do whatever it takes to get to the next level. And that takes accountability, it takes self-responsibility. The next thing in accountability is gonna be acceptance. Acceptance of the truth. Not trying to deny or make something out to be what you would be more comfortable with it being. We want to have acceptance over the things that we can and cannot control. Trying to control something that you cannot in order to feel some type of way will lead you into exhaustion and burnout, and it's so unnecessary. In this grown woman era, we are not stressing about things that we cannot control. The only thing that we can control is the choices that we make, what we choose to allow into our lives. And you don't want to be in a state of denial, denying your own feelings or the truth that's right in front of you. Sometimes it may be hard, but what's even harder is living a lie or trying to keep up with this idea of being okay when you might not be okay. To deny and to gaslight yourself into something is really psychologically dangerous. And when I was in that state of denial and I'm just like, oh, I'm happy and I'm just trying to like feel good right now, it was the most miserable time. Because I was lying to myself. It felt so fake. I felt so fake in my emotions and things. So creating safe spaces for you to be honest with yourself is really important. Moving on to integrity / self-respect. Now this right here is extremely important, because the world is going to ask you who you are, and if you don't know, they'll try to tell you. Getting clear on what it is that you value and being firm in that is going to save you from a lot of unnecessary bullshit. Another key to self-respect is wanting good for yourself. When I'm saying one thing but still attaching to negative and toxic habits, that's disrespecting myself. I'm not standing on what it is that I value and how I want to treat myself. And obviously we're not perfect. We gon' slip up a little bit, but what do you choose to do after that? Do you choose to keep reiterating the beliefs that that's all that you're worth? Or do you choose to take a step back and say, oh, wait, I'm repeating something. I don't want to do this. I don't want this for myself. Even though it may feel good right now, or it may be an instant high right now, it's not going to feel good in the long term. It's not going to be good for me in the long term. So I want to keep pushing myself in a direction that's healthy for me. Each and every time that you might backslide or, pick up on an old habit, take a step back and be aware of where you're going after that. Now, another thing with self-respect is being able to vet people. Not everybody deserves access to you. Not everybody has good intentions. Especially when you carry this light, you may irritate some people's demons. And with that, they want to try to destroy you. They want to try to distract you. They might even want to try to study you, mimic you, and copy the things that you do. It's very weird. It does not matter how lonely you may feel. I went through a period just wanting some type of human, not connection, but interaction. Being in that type of desperate energy can be dangerous, to just settle for anything. Feeling lonely can make you just accept the most low-hanging fruit, the connections that have no depth to them. That's not me. It's not what I want. We have to be able, when we do meet people, to ask the right questions and be the chooser, not just desperately wanting to be chosen or wanting to be liked by everybody, because not everybody's gonna like you. Like, to be liked by everybody is to be fake. It's shape-shifting and morphing just for validation. And we don't need that when we are setting those foundations within self and loving self. I've been alone for years, but I've never really felt lonely. When I started to feel that, it was just like anything. We want to be able to choose if this person is safe or not. People have to earn your trust. Give a little bit too much access when they did not earn that, did not deserve that, because it wasn't nobody else there. And I was insecure about that. But if you are in that type of space, who needs to be there is you. You got to be your biggest support system. You got to be all of the things that you might be looking for in other people. And then that will start to come to you. And then you could say, you know what? Access granted. Give them the code. So the last thing with self-respect is knowing the value of your time. We don't got time to play no games in this grown woman era. Distracted people like to distract people. Waste your time. Those who are not doing anything with their lives want to ruin yours. So we have to know the value in each time spent. Now, this doesn't mean hustle culture, toxic productive. No, it means healthy. How am I going to spend my time in a healthy and loving way to myself every single day? Sometimes you got to check things within yourself. That instant gratification may feel good right now, but you can feel like shit in a couple months. No, that's not what we standing on. We standing on self-care. We're standing on pouring all the good things into ourselves. The last foundation that I'm laying in my grown woman era is going to be emotional intelligence, unshakable, not allowing anybody else to have control over your emotions and over you and your decisions. Now, this is easier said than done, but I'm about to give you a few tips. So when we feel something, to gain the awareness, and what we need is to take a step back and detach yourself from the feeling. Notice the feeling in your body. Notice where it is, how it feels. That will start to give you the awareness. So when I get mad, I get hot. I start to feel a pressure in my chest. And that's because something is going against a core value. Something in my reality is going against a core value that I have. So it's making my heart angry. Why is this being presented in my face right now? Taking a step back and detaching yourself from the feeling, not allowing it to take over you, but to be curious about it and ask yourself about it, is going to help you to not act on it right there. Because it's been times where somebody in your face and they trying you, right? So you got to stay grounded And they could just be all trying to push your buttons. And the whole time I'm just in my head like, chest feels heavy. Some motherfucker breath stink. This type of awareness will give you the mastery over your emotions. So it can also be within yourself, right? Like sometimes I'm alone and I might feel sad or I might feel overwhelmed. Always, always, always just take a step back and be curious about the feeling. This will help you to literally not act on anything right there. So once you notice, what's going on inside of you, then you can start to decipher what it is that you need. And it's something healthy though. We don't need the instant gratification right now. We don't need to numb and stuff right now. This goes back to the power of your choices. How can I make the choice that's going to propel me and not keep me stagnant or take me back? And let me say this too. Don't ever feel bad about being in a low vibration and making mistakes and stuff like that, because sometimes being in that vibration can teach us things that we wouldn't have learned otherwise. Experience is one of life's greatest teachers. Some things I learned that I wouldn't have learned reading in a book. I wouldn't even thought to get a book on that. In this grown woman era, we're not sitting in no mistakes. We're not shaming ourselves for learning and growing and just exploring. It's fine. You will live. It's gonna be okay. Tell yourself that sometimes. Like sometimes I'm just like, yo, I need this, I need this, I need this. And it's like, give it to yourself. What do you need somebody else to tell you that you're great for? Start telling yourself now. Be your biggest support system when you need it. Next thing is knowing that there is a time and place for everything. I think that is enough said. Like one of the coldest things that you can do is not get upset and be like, you know what? I'm gonna holler at you later. Sometimes we can be addicted to those negative feelings of stress or frustration, and sometimes we just waiting on somebody to say one little thing just to pop off. And what is popping off gonna do? People that are destructive have nothing going on with their lives, Choose your battles wisely as well. I'm noticing some people are addicted to drama because they don't have any other excitement in their lives. And it's so negative, it's so toxic, it's so draining to me. So some things are not worth it. I'm not about to waste my energy on you being upset about some chips or something. Like it be the stupidest things. Choose your battles wisely, even within self. Like it's been toxic thought patterns that I've had in the past that I would have let take over me, but now these days I'm like, you know what, I'm not about to go back and forth with you about that. Talking to myself like, we not about to get into that. It's unnecessary. Waste of time, waste of energy. To have mastery over your own emotions is an extremely powerful and mature thing to do. Seriously. Don't let anybody control how you feel for the day. You hand over your power away when you do that. And sometimes things do get us a little hot. But are you going to check it and then go on about your day and not have a whole bad day, but just have a bad couple minutes or a bad hour or whatever? Or are you gonna sit in and no, I cannot. I'm so done. Let me know something that you do not play about with yourself in the comments, okay? Thank y'all so much for tuning into another video. If you'd like to see more feminine energy and mindset content, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. Okay, I'll see y'all soon. Love you.